The premium or value of an option is determined by a combination of contract-specific factors and market-specific elements. Alternatively, one could say that the premium or value of an option consists of two components. The first is the intrinsic value, and the second is the extrinsic value. Extrinsic value is also known as the time value or expectations value. The intrinsic value of an option is the value that an option has when it would be exercised. It concerns the differential, if positive, between strike price and market price of the underlying value. Market participants are prepared to pay for an option even though it has no intrinsic value yet. After all, if there is time left to maturity, then there is a chance that the option will get intrinsic value. Besides, even if the option has some intrinsic value, it could get more intrinsic value, even a very significant amount, while it cannot lose more than that, as options cannot get negative value because then they are simply not exercised. Therefore, the value of an option consists of both intrinsic value and time value. The time value reflects the extra premium on top of the intrinsic value. At expiration, only intrinsic value applies, if at all, so when the option is in the money. During the lifetime of the contract, on top of intrinsic value, if any, there is time value. This value reflects the chance of a possible move between the strike price level before the option expires. After all, there is probability that the option gets intrinsic value or gains more, or instead, when it has intrinsic value, the chance to lose it. Suppose today is April 15th and the market price of an option's underlying asset is at 12.70. Assume a market participant buys a June put option with strike price being 13 at a premium of 0.40. The intrinsic value of the put option is 0.30, namely 13 minus 12.70. As there is still some time remaining before maturity, the option premium does not only exist of intrinsic value, but it also incorporates extrinsic value. The extrinsic value is 0.10, namely 0.40 minus 0.30. A market participant buys an out-of-the-money call option with strike price 50 for 1.30, while the market price of the option's underlying asset is at 44.40. The option does not have any intrinsic value, but only 1.30 extrinsic value. Market participants are willing to pay this time value because various scenarios could apply during the remaining lifetime of the option that would benefit the option holder. By buying the option, the market participant invests a sum of money which equals the maximum loss. Nevertheless, it creates an opportunity. Hence, one cannot lose more, but the potential value of the option is manifold. The option premium is the sum of the intrinsic value and the additional amount of money, reflected by the time value. Option value equals intrinsic value plus extrinsic value, which describes option value equals intrinsic value plus time value. Whereas in case of a call option, intrinsic value equals price of underlying value minus strike price, if positive. While in case of a put option, intrinsic value equals strike price minus price of underlying value, if positive. The time value is influenced by various factors, namely the price volatility of the underlying value, the time to maturity of the option contract, and the moneyness of the option. At the money options have the highest time value.